Hello, Ilya. This is Robert Orsini. Welcome to the Student Fest. How are you? Good. So, we're all...
My name is Huda Barkouba and I was born in Jerusalem and raised in between Hebron and Jerusalem. I was born for a bunch of teachers. My grandfather was one of the first teachers who studied at Oxford in the 30s and 40s, was also a teacher, a trainer of English. He lived all through historical Palestine before 1948. Many of my uncles were born in different places of Palestine. I always like to introduce myself as someone who comes from strong women. And in the Palestinian psyche in general, women have been the first responders when a tragedy happens. They found themselves taking care of the homes and of the land and of the children when men were not around most of the time. This is a place that was plagued by conflict and by colonizers, occupiers for many years. And so when I look at the history of how women managed to prove that they were the only successful model of steadfastness and building and growth, I look at my grandmothers. They worked the land, they bought more land when they lost land after 1948 and after 1967, and all of their focus was on education. If we educate the youth, then our problems will be resolved. What I do care about is how we can empower more women both in Palestine and Israel so they can take the lead to change the conflict dynamics in general. I do believe that this conflict is actually entrenched in a sense of deep losses. Both are acting as victims, and I was speaking about that yesterday to Israelis and Palestinians, that we are not liberated yet. The Israelis have not come over their collective trauma yet. The Palestinians are still feeling the trauma and living the sense of loss and no acknowledgement. And so we're both acting as victims. When you look at women, they act as survivors all the time. So you learn survivor mechanism from them. I don't think that women can change the political leadership now, but at least they can do the re-education of both people about the other and ease the sense of fear that we both have against each other. Because some of the fear is just systematic, created by different systems like the religious system, the political system, and the occupation system itself. Walls, checkpoints, rules, laws that stop us from meeting each other are designed to keep us invisible for each other and it makes the dehumanization process easier. And that's why the connection doesn't happen. And without a human connection, there will be no movement whatsoever. So that's where I come from, and that's what I do. That's why I am very blessed with the job of being the regional director of the Alliance for Middle East Peace, which is 106 organizations that are working on the ground here in Israel and Palestine, that brings thousands of Israelis and Palestinians together using different theories of change. And now I am trying to help do a women's chapter in each and one of these organizations.